This is what if I was reincarnated as Spider-Man. Dante was just an ordinary guy. He watched all the Spider-Man movies. He had friends. He was walking with his friends. He watched all the Spider-Man films to the beginning, to even the brand new Spider-Man movie that was about to come out. He's walking too. He was walking from his little outing with his friends, until he hears something. He hears one of the normal people get mugged. Dante says, "Hey, what you doing?" The guy says, "Get out of here, don't think," says, "I told you, leave him alone." The guy says, "If you don't get out of here, you're going to eat the first on my list." Dante says, "Go ahead then." Don't take kind of him, he runs. The guy tries to punch. Don't take dodge out the way. And then he got stabbed. But Dante's still fighting. Not the guy out hot. Dante has lost blood and he's passing out. Dante says, "I'm glad you're safe." The guy he saved says, "Thank you. You shouldn't have done that." Dante says, "I'm glad that I did that." The god of reincarnation. Dante says, "Who are you, the god of reincarnation?" Says, "My name is Alan." Dante says, "Alan." Alan says, "I know it's not normal name for a very powerful god." Alan says, "You weren't supposed to die, yet you had many years to live. But you did a good thing. So I'll give you a wish. Can I be an MCU? Spider-Man." Dante says, "I want all the powers of Spider-Man, every single one." So powers of the normal Spider-Man Miles Morales 2099 Scarlet Spider-Man. Thank you, Alan. I hope you enjoy your new life. And Alan says one more thing from now on, you, Peter Parker. And also, this will be my last final word. You will already have your powers. But you're starting from the beginning of teenage years 16 as Dante opened his eyes. He goes to the mirror. He says, "I don't look like myself anymore." Or maybe I should call Peter Parker for now change. And Peter tries out his powers. Now first he tries sticking to objects, try and climb on the wind. He says that check bioelectricity. The venom blasts from Miles. He holds his hand out, he sees. He tries to shoot a web, and he actually works. He says, "I can make my own ribs, and I don't need no web shooters." I wonder, do I have spider sense? 2099 had super, since he could see things from far away, and he had claws and talents. Probably not going to use those, at least not right now. And then I can go invisible too. Ant-Man knocks at the door, says, Peter, come down. "You got to go to school. Uncle Ben, can you take you to school?" Peter says, "Sure." Aunt May gave him a bag of lunch. Peter says, "Thank you," go to get in the car. The car pulls into Peter's school. Peter walks into the school, and he sees Harry Osborn, and never inside. His head starts going through. He sees childhood. Everything that every in him has been through. And Dante says in his head, "This new body comes with brand new memories." Sweet Harry says, "Hey, Pete. What's up? Just got here." Peter says, "Hey, Harry, I'm having this party tonight. You should totally come." Peter says, "Sure, I'll think about it. I might be a little late, but I'll come." Our first class, we got chemistry. Remember Dr. Connors is teaching class. Remember they walk to class before they go, and the least Felicia Hardy meets them and says, "Hi, Pete." Peter also get the memory of everything that Felicia was Harry and Felicia Peter. Says, inside his head, "I grew up with Felicia. In this timeline, nice. I just had to make sure she doesn't turn into a cat bar." Harry says, "Hey, Felicia, you should come to my party tonight." Alicia says, "I got something important tonight." Harry says, "Come on, you have to make it." Felicia says, "I'll think about it." Peter thinks, what has she got going on tonight? I'm going to find out. School is about to get out, but before he goes out of school, you see Flash Thompson. Peter says, "I don't need the new memories to know who he is." The school bullies him the time Flash tries to punch Peter, but then his spider sense starts to go off. Peter kind of plays it off and kind of trips on the floor. Flash starts laughing at Peter. Harry says, "Stop it, Flash. You're always safe." Harry, "You're always mad at him because he gets better grades." Flash tries to punch Harry, but Peter grabbed his heart. Peter says, "That's enough, Flash. You always pick on me, but you do not pick on my friend." Flash looks at him, looks at the strength that Peter has. "How are you this strong?" Peter says, "I've been working out. I'm done for you to keep picking on me. Let him go." Peter says, "Flash, get out of here." He runs. "Peterson, are you okay?" Harry says, "Am I okay?" "I'm more okay. You just picked up. Got Flash to back down. Where was all this before? And if you have this in you, why did you let him bully you? I didn't want people to see me any different." Harry says, "You want to call limo. You can hang over my house." "I think so. I think I can let me just call my aunt and my Uncle Ben to not worry them." Norman knocks at the door. He says, "Harry, are you here?" Norman, Peter, is here too perfect. Can we go to the ice cork building? I want to show you to something. So Peter says, Mr. Osborne, what are you working on? A super serum to strengthen soldiers, make soldiers stronger, faster, more agile. Peter says, inside his head on now, I know what's going to happen. This is when the Green Guard here is born. I do know how to stop this. Peter thinks in his head, I need a sample, his DNA, and I need the serum. Standing that might be easy. And Peter says to himself, I have all the power of the Spider-Man, and that means invisibility. That means I can speak freely in the serum. Peter says, Mr. Osborne, where's the bathroom? He says, down the hall. To the right, wouldn't miss it. Peter says, thank you, I'll catch up with you a little later. He goes to the bathroom, goes inside the bathroom. While he's in the bathroom, he goes invisible. It's a sample of the CM. And he gets a little retainer that can take some blood from Norman. He's like, yes, now I got everything to make the antidote. When everything goes wrong, Peter put in a safe pocket, a zip pocket, before he puts the stuff inside his backpack. He shoots some webs, reattaching the stuff to his bag, just to make sure he flips his bag up and puts it on his back. And meet up with Harry and Norman. He says, hi, guys. Norman says, I have to go enjoy your party. Don't forget to clean up. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. I'm going to be working late. Peter says, I'll see you a little later after the party. Harry said, see you then. It starts at 11. Okay, Peter goes back home. Peter says, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, I'm kind of going to this party later. I'm just here to drop my bag off. Uncle Ben said, have fun. Don't be out too late. I'll try. Peter says, I'll try and make it home as soon as I can. Peter goes upstairs to the room. Think inside his head, I'm going to need a lot of stuff. I'm going to need a place to work, trying and make this antidote. Maybe I can go in today, the basement area, turn that into a makeshift lab, since I don't use it for much of anything else. But first goes into the closet, gets a hoodie, some goggles, and a mask. Now I just have to put a spider on my chest, and this will be my mixture suit since I already got the webs. Let me go find Felicia. Where is it? Wait a minute. I think I heard location on my phone. I mean this caller just in case. Peter rings the phone. Felicia picks up the phone. Peter says, are you going to come to Harry party? Felicia says, I got stuff to do. I might not make it. Okay, just be safe and stuff like that. And that's what Peter says. Peter hangs up the phone. He puts his makeshift Spider-Man suit underneath his clothes. He puts his mask in his pocket and the gloves as well. He goes downstairs and says bye to Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Not me. And Uncle Ben says have a good time. Peter runs, kind of gets a hidden spot underneath the kind of backyard of the house. And then he kind of changes into his spider suit. He swings. He has one hand on his leg while he's swinging and one hand on the phone, looking at the location. And Peter says, I'm almost there. Now, why is she here? Is she Black Cat? Something don't change kind of climbs onto not the window, but kind of like the ceiling, the skylight, seen Felicia fight off some bad guys or some people at the warehouse. And then he can have breaks the skylight. It says a hi people. He shoots a web, punches one of them. You run at Peter his spider, then Tangled starts going off. He kind of wraps all the people at the warehouse up. Felicia says, thank you very much, mystery person. It's Spider-Man pretty much. Peter says to Felicia, so what are you doing here? Miss Felicia says, why are you asking so many questions, Spider-Man? You almost got killed and almost got very hard. What are you actually doing here? There was something here that I needed to get a drive. Peter says a drive for what you should stop asking questions. You don't want any bad luck. Peter says you should probably just get out of here. His spider senses goes off. I told you shouldn't ask dumb questions. Peter webs Felicia. A box. Pizza says, can we talk like normal people? Alicia says, this is pretty normal to me. Don't you have people that care about you? What if they get involved? Felicia says, I would never put them involved. Really, that's what Peter says. It doesn't seem like that to me. You have people that care about you, don't you? Then why do you put your life on the line? My father was framed now. All I'm trying to do is get them out. Peter says, I'll look into it. Write down the location of a rooftop. Felicia says, were you some type of hero? Maybe Peter jumps and swings to the surface and swings out of there after he frees Felicia. And he meets up with Harry. Peter knocks at the door and Harry says, you finally made it. Finally, I thought I would have to be alone. We got because I'm bringing Flash. I'm bringing MJ, Liz. I'm bringing Brock, Danny, Nova, Gwen. No, kind of like the whole school. And when Harry is having this conversation here, and knock at the door, and Felicia is there, Peter says, I'll get it, and Peter says we decided to make it. Felicia says, hi, Pete. Peter says we're the first people to make it to the party. And then a lot of people just start showing up. Harry says, Pete get drinks, Felicia gets snacks and off. And Harry says, I'll get the movie started. Now it runs Peter and Harry. And Felicia starts dancing, starts eating snacks, starts having fun. And it starts on 12 o'clock. And everybody just kind of crashes. Some people crashes on a couch. And everybody just gets knocked out. But, well, that's going on in the corp. Building on Norman Osborn is talking with some people saying we have not been seen no assaults. So if we don't get no improvements at all, you're not going to get paid. Norman says, well, you're going to pay. I want to see some human trials. It's no human trials. Then this company will go down. He rushes to the lab thing. I have to experiment. I have to do it myself. Sam says, what are you doing? Norman says. Sam says, I do it on Fridays. I always work overtime on Fridays. Sam says, you can't do this. I got to get human trials. Norman says human trials, and we will lose the company, so are you going to help me or not? He gets ready. Norman gets ready to experiment on himself. It gets locked it. He gets locked up, making sure everything's secure. And then Norman gets the serum into him. And Norman knocks out, and Sam tries to wake him up. But before Norman kind of turned into this goblin type of creature, he's big, he's strong, and he grabs Sam in and throws him into the glass. And he jumps out of the building and flies into the night. That's the end of this part. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I kind of made this when I was just thinking of new story ideas. So give me a comment like in and tell me what you think of this.